Two diametrically opposed thought systems, both claiming to be true, cannot be true at the same time. One is true, the other is false, and you get to take your pick. You are free to decide what is real and what is false. Within you are two identities. One I call the somebody. This is the part of you that clings, defends, and identifies with the temporal and projected avatar body. The somebody sees itself as a physical form, struggling to survive, attempting to get its desires met, and to associate or avoid other somebodies. It's part of an animal programming. The other part of you I call the nobody. This nobody is the part of you that identifies with the immortal being, the spirit, that which is beyond or outside the body. It is literally not a body. It is formless, ethereal, and invulnerable. The nobody is intrinsically part of the infinite mind of the original creator. In this world, somebody suffers. Nobody doesn't suffer. Somebody struggles to survive. Nobody doesn't struggle to survive. Somebody desires and experiences fear. Nobody doesn't desire or experience fear. Somebody dies. Nobody doesn't die. Somebody lives in bondage. Nobody doesn't live in bondage. Somebody is trapped. Nobody isn't trapped. The paradox here is easy to see. One is true, the other is not true. Which one is it? Both are claiming to be true. Such is the nature of paradox. Now, I remember years ago, when I was just beginning to consider this idea, I used to talk about how life is a paradox. All the time I would say this. One day my 6-year-old daughter said to me, "Dad, I don't get it. Why are you always talking about a pair of ducks?" Strangely enough, in that moment I recognized whatever it was I was saying. It registered in her young mind that something was truly significant about the pair of opposites, the nature of two-ness. It is the beginning of recognizing polarity. I realized then how important it is for me to consciously embrace duality and polarity. Accepting polarity allows one to develop a more holistic worldview, understanding that opposing forces are always interconnected and interdependent. It helps us to find balance in our lives, to appreciate contrast, and navigate life's challenges with wisdom, power, and love. Embracing the paradox expands our perception because it enables us to see beyond surface-level appearances and recognize the interconnectedness or the interbeingness of all things. It allows us to appreciate the dance between opposing forces and the meaning in both the highs and lows of our soul journey. paradox promotes personal growth. It encourages us to welcome the full spectrum of human experience. It helps us develop empathy, compassion, and a deeper understanding of our lives and others. But this does not mean accepting everything without discernment. Rather, it means recognizing the interplay between opposites while still exercising discernment and making choices aligned with our true values and our personal well-being. This is the key to breaking free of the construct. It is up to us to choose. Do you want to be right? Or do you want to be happy? Do you want to be somebody? Or do you want to be nobody? In the classic book, Tao Te Ching, it says, "In the pursuit of learning in this world, every day something is acquired. In the pursuit of Tao, or the inner way, every day something is dropped. Less and less is done until non-action is achieved. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. The world is ruled by letting things take their course. It cannot be ruled by interfering." So what I learned on my own spiritual journey in my late 30s was an important lesson. I learned the prudence in not trying to resolve the paradox in favor of the light. I think those of us who are on a spiritual path are especially susceptible to this temptation. We really want the world to be only a place of goodness, safety, love, justice, truth, and abundance. We want the somebody to feel safe and secure all the time. The trouble is, it is impossible to resolve the contradictory nature of this holographic false world because it represents a dualistic reality. The greater law of the universe is the law of polarity. It takes deep wisdom to come to a place of acceptance that seeming opposites are not really in conflict with one another. They are complementary forces. When complementary forces are balanced, there is goodness and harmony. But when they are out of balance, one is existing in a state outside of that harmony. This is what inevitably leads to violence, discord, war, disease, struggle, poverty, and conflict. This is why I have concluded that Satanism and Christianity in this world appear as two sides of the same myth. They vehemently oppose one another. Now, I'm not suggesting there is not some measure of wisdom or truth in either belief system, only that they are diametrically opposed and have become alarmingly out of balance. This is the nature of all religion. Religion comes from a root word that means yoke or to bind. Wisdom comes when one begins to question and see true reality beyond the false constructs, recognizing instead that most thought systems in this world have been used to manipulate and control others. Therefore, my message to you is question everything. Don't just accept the beliefs and opinions of others, and especially don't believe what the media says. Learn from yourself the secrets of the somebody and the nobody. by your own direct experiences. Finding that balance means seeing through the manipulation of the artificial intelligence programming. It also means piercing illusions beyond the veil of form and image. I think as spiritual seekers, we often attempt to resolve the paradox by choosing only the light. Yet life is never so one-sided. Attempting to resolve the paradox is impossible, especially in a dualistic reality bubble. Therefore, understand that you can attract and get what you want and like, but you will also get what you don't want and you don't like. This is the unseen trap most people don't recognize regarding the law of attraction. Yes, it's wholly possible to attract what you want, but because of the law of opposites, you will also attract what you don't want. There is a better way to proceed through the simulacrum. Be the nobody. Identify with the immortal aspect of your totality. Step out of the dream. Pure life runs supreme when you're out of the dream. Establish conscious communion with the superior cosmic ocean of thought. To do this is easy. Simply encompass the nature of paradox in this world and put yourself at the center of the wheel of samsara. This is the psychological position known as nirvana that the Buddha taught over 2,500 years ago. It is a place where you are centered, affirmative of life, and untouched by desire or fear. Instead of seeking to fall in love, you naturally radiate love. To fall is to lose yourself, but to radiate is to be pure love. There are only two types of souls in this world, and each one has his own unique purpose and goal. One lives in bondage. Now, this is depicted in the Bible as Egypt. This condition is what I refer to as being the somebody. The other soul type is known as Exodus and encompasses those who are actively working to escape the illusory construct. They do this by claiming their natural immortal state of wholeness. And of course, this is represented in the Bible as the Exodus. Each living soul being, which doesn't include clones or sentient programs or other soulless entities, are part of either one of these two paths. There is no neutral state. One is either in bondage or in the Exodus. So where are you? This is why I have reiterated in these videos that the best course is to seek your own liberation and freedom by becoming a living example. To pursue the path of dramatically waking up out of the simulacrum and cutting a pathway in consciousness, thereby leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for others to follow. Choose to merge with the universal mind of the original Creator by actively and consciously absorbing the living current of life. To me, this is the direct path to the source of all knowledge and energy and harmony. It's what I call primal conscious living. For me, it is the aim of all my living here, my goal, my purpose, and the end I seek while I abide where I am not at home. I'd like to conclude with a quote from the book Painovan, Teachings of the Temple Dwellers, a handbook on how to break free of the simulacrum. It does not hinder our journey one bit, the things that happen on earth. We can freely allow everyone to do, be, and say whatever is within them as true and real, because we know the ultimate reality is only the living current of life, and it is in you and me and everyone.